On our wedding day, my fiancée blamed me for her family's financial woes and publicly announced I will be paying all their debts. I replied, "What a burden." Then I canceled the wedding, and her family was left utterly humiliated as their guilt trip publicly backfired. I, 32 male, am, or rather was, supposed to be married right now. The venue was perfect. Old brick, ivy climbing the walls, a cavernous room with exposed wooden beams that cost a small fortune. I paid for it. All of it. I was fine with that. I wanted Emily, 29, to have the day she'd always talked about. I thought we were building a life, and this was the grand opening. I see now it was more of a liquidation sale. And I was the one being liquidated. We're standing there, post-ceremony, champagne flutes in hand. The late afternoon sun is hitting the dust motes dancing in the air. It was a beautiful moment. My lovely wife, I thought. The title of a life I was eager to begin. Then Emily's father, Paul, a man whose handshakes are always a little too firm, a little too needy, taps the microphone. He gives a blustering, generic speech. Then he says, "And now a few words from my beautiful daughter, the bride." Emily practically glides up there. She looks incredible. She starts with the usual stuff. Thanking everyone for coming, telling a cute sanitized story about our first date. The crowd is lapping it up. I'm just watching her, my heart doing that stupid movie credits swell. And then her tone shifts. It's subtle, a little dip in her voice, a practiced tremor. "And of course," she says, turning to look directly at me, her smile just a little too wide. "I have to thank my incredible husband." She pauses, letting the ahs ripple through the room. "He's not just a wonderful partner, he's a savior." I felt a cold prickle on my neck. That word, savior, it sounded wrong. "Many of you know," she continues, her voice gaining a righteous sort of power, "that my family has faced some unfair financial hurdles. My father, a brilliant man, was betrayed in business. My mother has worked her fingers to the bone. It's been a heavy, heavy burden for us to carry." The room is dead silent now. Guests are exchanging confused looks. My mother looks like she swallowed a wasp. Emily beams at me. It's a terrifyingly bright, predatory smile. And that is why I am so proud to announce that Andrew has insisted, truly insisted, on taking that burden from us. As his first act as my husband, he's paying off my family's entire debt, all of it, so they can finally have the fresh start they deserve. She raises her glass to me. To my husband, the most generous man alive. For a few seconds, nobody moves. The air is thick with shock. I could see the numbers ticking behind my eyes. I knew about some of Paul's money troubles. He'd casually mentioned a figure around 20 kellers once. I'd privately resolved to help them with it, a wedding gift. But the way she said entire debt, a number I suddenly suspected was astronomically higher. And the public coercive nature of the announcement, it was a hostage negotiation, not a wedding speech. I saw Paul in the front row, beaming, giving me a thumbs up. He was in on it. This was the plan. My entire future with this woman telescoped in my mind. Every holiday, every financial decision, every family dinner would be a negotiation. I would be an ATM, an emotional support wallet. Their bad decisions, my burden. Emily is still looking at me, her smile starting to falter as the silence stretches on. The guests are staring. They don't know what to do. I lower my champagne flute. The microphone is on a small stand nearby. I pick it up. My hand is perfectly steady. I look at Emily, at her expectant, demanding face. I lean into the mic and say, my voice quiet but carrying through the cavernous room, "What a burden." Then I set the microphone down. I turn to the wedding planner, a very capable woman named Kimberly, who is now staring with her mouth agape. I walk over to her, keeping my back to the unfolding horror show at the front of the room. "Kimberly," I say, my voice low and even, "please send me the final itemized bill for today. Everything. Cancel the reception, the band, the dinner, everything. Pay the staff for their full time and add a generous tip. Use the card on file." "But it's over." "Andrew," she starts, her eyes wide. "It's over," I repeat more firmly. I look past her and see Emily's face has crumpled into a mask of pure fury. Her mother, Donna, is rushing to her side. Paul looks like he's been slapped. I don't say another word. I just turn and walk out the main doors into the late afternoon sun. I can hear the first shouts erupting behind me, but they sound very far away. I just keep walking. I don't look back. Update. 48 hours later. My phone has been a nuclear reactor of notifications. I turned it off for the first 24 hours, letting the fallout rain down wherever it may. When I turned it back on, it was a war zone. 117 missed calls, mostly from Emily, Paul, Donna, and Emily's brother Joshua, a few from mutual friends. 200 plus texts, a chaotic mix of rage, pleading, and gaslighting. Emily, how could you do that to me? To my family? You humiliated me. Call me now. Emily, an hour later, I can't believe you would throw everything away over a misunderstanding. It was a grand gesture, you idiot, a way to show everyone how much you loved me. Emily, 12 hours later, I'm at our apartment. I'm not leaving until you come here and we talk this out like adults. You owe me that. Paul, you're a coward and a child. You embarrassed my daughter and my family, and you will answer for that. Andrew, honey, please. There's been a terrible mistake. Emily is just beside herself. She loves you so much, she was just proud of you. Please call me. We're family. The last one was almost funny. We're family, that's what this was all about. I ignored them all. Instead, I did two things. First, I created a new folder in my email inbox titled The Project. I started moving things into it. The original wedding venue contract, every invoice, every email exchange with vendors. Then I started a spreadsheet. It has 3 columns: expense, amount, and who paid. I went through my credit card statements for the last 18 months. Every dinner Emily's family insisted on having where her father conveniently forgot his wallet. Every loan to her brother Joshua for his car, rent, phone bill that was never paid back. The $2,850 security deposit on our apartment that came entirely from my savings account. The custom suit I bought for Paul to wear to the wedding because he'd fallen on hard times. Then I got to the sickest part. The wedding gifts. The gift table had been positioned near where Emily's family was sitting. In the chaos, I'm certain they secured everything. All the physical gifts, and more importantly, all the cards with checks and cash. Another line item in the spreadsheet: wedding gifts, value, amount unknown, possession Paul, Emily. It was another debt they now owed me, one I had little hope of collecting but would not forget. Second, I called my lawyer. Not for a lawsuit, not yet, just for advice on disentangling myself cleanly. The first real communication came yesterday evening, a text from Emily. Emily, I'm at the apartment. Joshua's here with me. We need to talk. I'm not leaving. My blood ran cold. Joshua is a freeloader with a temper. He's the type who leaves muddy Adidas sneakers on a new rug without a second thought and thinks nothing of drinking your last expensive beer. The thought of him in my space, making himself at home, I replied for the first time. Me, the apartment is in my name only. Emily, I will be there tomorrow at noon with a friend to collect my personal belongings. You have 30 days to vacate the premises, as per standard tenant laws. Official notice will be delivered tomorrow. Her reply was instantaneous. Emily, our apartment, you can't be serious? You're kicking me out? After you left me at the altar? AITA here, Andrew? Are you kidding me? You're the monster here. I didn't reply. I just screenshotted the exchange and saved it to the project folder. This is not about emotion anymore. It's about logistics. Update. It's been an education. I always thought the end of a relationship was about a big, dramatic, emotional climax. It's not. It's about paperwork. It's about bureaucracy. And I'm finding a strange, cold comfort in that. The visit to the apartment was even more tense than I'd imagined. I brought my friend Steven, who is built like a refrigerator and is very, very calm. Emily was there. So were Paul, Donna, and, as promised, Joshua. He was lounging on my couch, wearing one of my university hoodies, a smug look on his face. Donna started crying the moment she saw me. Andrew, how can you be so cold? Paul stepped forward, jabbing a finger in my direction. I'm not letting you in. You have no right. Joshua chimed in from the couch. Yeah, get lost, man. You don't get to just walk in here. I ignored Joshua and Donna completely. I looked at Paul and said, Paul, the lease is in my name. You are currently trespassing. I have a copy right here. Steven, would you mind calling the non-emergency police line, just to have an officer mediate this? Paul's face went purple. He shot a look at Joshua, who just shrugged. The threat of actual impartial authority was not part of their script. He sputtered for a moment, then stepped aside. The next 2 hours were a masterclass in petty obstruction. Donna would accidentally stand in front of boxes. Joshua would make snide remarks. Look at him, Steven. Gotta pack up all his little toys. So sad. Emily followed me, whispering, Remember that weekend in the mountains? Did that mean nothing? I didn't answer. I just packed my clothes, my books, my computer. I documented everything. I took a photo of the scuff marks on the wall where Joshua had obviously banged his bike. A picture of the wine stain on the new rug. The fancy espresso machine I bought was gone. I made a note. DeLonghi espresso machine, $800, missing. When I was done, I handed Emily a printed, formal eviction notice. "This is insane," she whispered, her voice cracking with real fear. "My whole life is in this apartment." "You have 30 days, I said. Then Stephen and I left. The social fallout is messy. A few mutual friends sided with her. They heard the story of my psychotic break, but a few have reached out, quietly, asking for my side. At first, I just stated the facts. Then my cousin, who was sitting in the third row, sent me the video from his phone. It was shaky, the audio a bit windy, but Emily's words were perfectly clear. "He's paying off my family's entire debt. All of it." After that, I didn't have to do much talking. I sent the clip to the few people who mattered. The truth has a weight all its own. I also sent Emily one final simple text. "Regarding the wedding gifts, please provide a full list and return my half. Otherwise, I will add it to the list of debts to be settled." Her response was a single, furious, revealing line. "Those were gifts to our family." I saved the screenshot. The project continues. Update: it's over. The dust has settled, and my life is my own again. The final act wasn't a dramatic explosion, but a series of slow, grinding, bureaucratic clicks. It was, in the end, deeply satisfying. Emily, using every trick in the tenant's handbook, managed to delay the eviction. She filed motions, claimed hardship, and dragged the process out for an extra 3 months. It was frustrating, but the law, while slow, is persistent. I didn't engage. I let my lawyer handle the filings. Finally, the day came when the sheriff's deputies escorted her out. I had a property management agent handle the walkthrough. The report was grim. The apartment was a wreck. Holes in the drywall, garbage left behind, and yes, my blender and air fryer were gone. The agent's report, with its time-stamped photos, was clinical and damning. The next day, I went to the police station. I knew a criminal case for a few missing appliances was a long shot, but that wasn't the goal. I filed a formal report for theft, listing the items and their value. I walked out with an official police report number. It was just one more piece of paper, one more brick in the wall of facts I was building. Then I filed in small claims court. The wait for a court date took another 2 months. My claim wasn't for emotional distress. It was for tangible, provable things. The cost to repair the damages to the apartment, backed by the agent's report and invoices from contractors. Her share of the final 4 months' utility bills, which she'd refused to pay. The value of the stolen appliances, backed by receipts and the police report number. The total came to just under $5,000. In court, she represented herself. Her defense was that I was a cruel millionaire. I'm not. And she was a victim who deserved the items as emotional alimony. She even claimed the apartment damage was normal wear and tear. When she was done, I presented my case. I had the lease, the move-in checklist, the dated walkthrough photos, the repair invoices, the utility bills, and the police report. When the judge asked about the appliances, I simply said, "Your Honor, I have receipts showing I purchased them. My ex-fiancée does not. And I have a police report, filed the day I regained possession of the apartment, declaring them stolen." The judge was not impressed with her emotional alimony argument. I won. The judgment was for $4,650. The judge adjusted the appliance value for depreciation, which was fair. It's not a life-changing sum, but it's a public record. It's a legal binding consequence that will follow her. The social reputation of her family has crumbled. The video clip did most of the work. As for their finances, I did a little digging. A search of public records revealed a $167,000 tax lien against Paul's defunct business. That was the number. That was the burden they wanted me to carry. From what I hear, Emily had to move back in with her parents. Their financial situation is worse than ever. They remain bitter, convinced they are the victims. It doesn't matter. I have a new apartment. It's smaller, but it's all mine. The other day, I was unpacking a box of books and found a framed photo of Emily and me that had been packed by mistake. I looked at it for a moment, then I took the photo out, tore it into 4 clean pieces, and dropped it in the trash. I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just quiet. The project is complete, the folder is archived, my life is no longer a negotiation, it's just my life. And the silence is wonderful.